We watched Children of the Corn from 1984. Oh my goodness. Stephen King's Children of the Corn. Let's get into it. Based on a novel by Stephen King, Children of the Corn is from 1984. It lasts 1 hour 32 minutes. It stars Linda Hamilton and Peter Norton. Is that right? I think so. I only remember that because of the Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carol Pilkington radio show XFM.
Stephen King's horror film, lest we forget it's got Peter Horton as the star.
So this is a little bit of a classic horror. Really? Yeah. Classic? Yeah. So the movie opens with a caption, Gatlin, Nebraska, 3 years ago. We see a young boy, Billy. He is in the local diner with his father. Everyone's there. It's a Sunday lunchtime, just after church, I think. Yeah, I think so. And then this little kid outside looks in the window. His name is Malachi. Yeah, Malachi, he's got a group of other kids and they all come into the diner and they just murder all the adults. Everyone. The toys and Dilly's dad, they stab other people. They just go crazy. Now we're in present day. Well, 1984. Present day for when the movie was released. In a hotel room, we meet Vicky and Burton. Burt for short. It's Burt's birthday and they're driving across the country because Burt is about to start a new job. Yeah. He's going to start his internship as a doctor on Monday. Vicky gives Burt his birthday present. Haha. No, it's a lighter. Yeah, for lighting cigarettes. It looks nice. It might come in handy later. They're a young couple, very excited about the new job prospect, very much in love, it would appear. Yeah, so they tack up and leave the hotel room and go on their merry way. Back in Gatlin, there's one little kid who wants to leave. Yeah, Malachi is kind of in charge of all the kids in town, and one kid wants to leave. He takes his little suitcase, he sneaks off and cuts through the fields of corn. Yeah, it's all... Being this part of Nebraska, there are lots and lots of cornfields. Yeah, so he cuts through the corn to escape. That he's caught. Oh dear. He's caught by Malachi and other kids and he's cut with a knife. He's stabbed, he is. He's almost dead, but he stumbles his way out of the cornfield, makes onto the main road, and is snacked instantly by Dirt and his car. Yeah, Burt and Vicky smash into him, killing him. Yeah, they think they're responsible. They think this kid has just wandered onto the road and they've killed him. Big panic. They go and look at the body and they're like, what will we do with it? So they put it in the boot of their car. Yep. Just stick it in beside the luggage. And he looks at the body and he decides, actually, this boy was stabbed before we even hit him with the car. Phew! We don't have to take any responsibility. Back in Caitlin, we see two very young kids, Joe and Sarah, and they're probably about 5 or 6 years old, I think so, and they just want to play games. They find some old board games in an old abandoned house, and they start to play, and then this guy appears, Isaac, and he's Malachi's right-hand man, and he's like, you must come with me, let's go see Malachi, you will be dealt with. Yeah, he's a bit of a taskmaster, old Isaac, isn't he? Yeah. But Malachi knows something about these kids. He knows that Sarah actually has the gift. She can see things before they happen. Well, so he believes. Yeah. So he says, let them play. Leave them alone, Isaac. I, Malachi, can end it. Yeah. Malachi's word is final. Now, Burt and Vicky are driving along. They find the mechanic. They refuel the car. They don't mention the dead kid in the trunk. But they talk to the mechanic and they say, what's the nearest town around here? They want to, find the kid's family at least, or a hospital or something. But the mechanic says, Caitlin is the nearest town. Don't go there. You won't like it. And every road sign they see has been tampered with. So basically they end up driving around in circles for ages until they're led into Caitlin against their wishes. Yeah. Meanwhile, the mechanic has got problems of his own. This mechanic, he's a bit of an older boy, and he hears noises in his workshop. Yeah. And he's like, listen, I told them, stay away from town. I didn't tell them any secrets. We had a deal. You leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. They attack him in the dark. They stab him and cut him and kill him. Yeah, he should have got them to come out in the sunlight. At least they'd have had a chance, yeah. I mean, I don't know what he could have done. I do, but they're kids. Just start kicking. I'm not condoning kicking children, but these kids are evil. Now, wait. Right, I think you did something else next up, have I? Yeah. What have I got mixed up now? Malachi and Isaac? But wait a minute, sorry, you're right. Isaac is the leader. Isaac's word is final. Isaac is the one who tells Malachi, let the little kids play because Sarah has the gift. Yeah, right, so, my apologies. So, because of Sarah's drawings, Isaac, not Malachi, no, Isaac believes that strangers will come and these will be new sacrifices sent from God to he who walks behind the rose. Yeah, this thing they all worship and fear that lives in the corn. Isaac says this will make a better sacrifice than the last adult who came here. The blue man. Yeah, the blue man, you'll find out later. He's called the blue man because he wears blue clothing. So Bert and Vicky are looking around town. It seems completely empty, completely deserted. They go into shops, they go into people's houses, and there's no one around. And then they hear some noises, they hear some voices. It's children, and they see some kids. So they start to give chase for some reason. They're just trying to find out what's going on, where everyone is, if these kids are okay. Eventually they go into a building and they meet Sarah, who's sitting playing a game. Vicky stays with Sarah to make sure she's okay, to see what's happening, while Bert continues to explore. Back in the house, Sarah is starting to get scared because she knows what's coming. Vicky is about to be taken. Malachi and another gang of kids come and grab Vicky and take her away. As she's been taken away, we see Sarah's latest little drawing that she's made in crayon, and it is a picture of Malachi and his friends taking Sarah away. She really does have the gift, I guess so. And you get some sticky music at this point. That sort of... Meanwhile, Bart is still looking around town. He goes to the church and he finds a whole gang of children. And one boy who's about to be celebrating his 18th birthday is about to be sacrificed. Yeah, so Bart's like, what is going on? You kids are crazy. He starts to fight off the kids, tries to save this 18-year-old's life. But Malachi and his gang turn up. They have a bit of a battle out in the street with Bart. Bart gets cut, but he manages to escape. He hides in one of the abandoned stores, and he ambushes Malachi. Yeah, traps him up in the dark, and then instantly turns around and walks into a toll. What a fool! Well, he manages to get away, and he meets Joe and Sarah. Yeah, the two littlest kids. And they help him hide. Yeah. Meanwhile, we rejoin Vicky, and she wakes up and she's tied to a cross. She is to be sacrificed, and she sees the blue man. The blue man is a corpse. It's been there a while, the last sacrifice, and he's called the blue man because he's a police officer. Now this sacrificial place is all a big clearing in the cornfields. Yeah. And guess what happens? Malachi decides to overthrow Isaac. He wants dirt and Vicky. Isaac is happy with just Vicky, but Malachi overthrows him, cuts Vicky down, and ties Isaac in his place.
Malachi, you will not forgive you! None of you will be forgiven! All of you shall feel his wrath!
Malachi goes to town and he starts shouting, Outlander, we have your woman. Outlander, we have your woman.
Outlander, we have your woman.
Bart infiltrates the cornfield. He infiltrates the clearing. He sees something tunneling under the ground, like in a Bugs Bunny cartoon. But it's not Bugs Bunny. It's not a talking rabbit. It's actually he who walks behind the rose. And this thing comes tunneling up, and then it sets fire to Isaac, and eventually Isaac is blasted into the sky. Quite the sacrifice. Yeah, it is a bit full on. When this happens, Bert fights Malachi. He beats him. Yeah, because he's an adult. Yeah, well, he beats Malachi. He says to the kids, this religion isn't real. He has a chance to kill Malachi, but he doesn't take it. Yeah, he says, this is all silly. You're all being silly. Stop being so silly. This is silliness.
Well, we are fond of the silliness.
So despite what he's just seen happen to Isaac, he still says this is a lot of nonsense. You're all believing things that aren't real. He cuts Vicky down. All the kids seem to abandon Malachi. Malachi sneaks up behind Bert and he's about to kill him, but then a charred, burned Isaac appears and he says, Malachi, he didn't want me for a sacrifice. He wants you. And he grabs him and they're both sacrificed. Yeah, sticky stuff. And there's a big storm and all the kids run off. Everyone disperses. Yeah, they all take shelter in the nearby barn, and Sarah and Joe explain that the storm is actually he who walks behind the rose. And Dirt says, what? They also find out in the past the blue man almost defeated he who walks behind the rose. He almost ended this whole thing. So Bart figures out he needs to set the whole cornfield on fire. Yeah, this is acres and acres of cornfield, by the way. Yeah, it's huge. So Bart gets outside. So Bart goes out to the cornfield. He finds a big power generator. Yeah, and he takes like a bit of material from his shirt, and he's making like an Molotov cocktail. So he takes the fuel from the generator and hooks up to the sprinkler system so that the whole field is going to be covered in fuel, diesel, or petrol rather than water from the sprinklers. Yeah, pretty smart, but he still needs to light it. So he's about to set it all off, and then the corn comes to life and starts to grab and squeeze him, and it starts to crush him, and he's about to die. But then little Joey appears, and little Joe saves him and manages to cut him free, and then he reaches into his pocket and pulls out his dirty present, his lighter from the start of the movie. Remember? Yeah, I remember. And he does it. He uses an Molotov cocktail, chucks it into the field, and the whole place goes up. And you see a big explosion, an acid fire, big explosion, and a big cartoon face in the explosion. That's right. And it seems like that is the end of He Who Walks Behind the Rose. So Bert, Vicky, Joe and Sarah run off towards the car. Yeah, and in the car, they're attacked by another couple of kids, so they kill them. Yeah, and then the only way to escape is to set the car on fire. Yeah, I mean that other kid's corpse is still in the trunk. But okay. And then Bert, Vicky, Joe and Sarah all agree to just walk off together, leave this place forever, and be a family, I guess. Sarah talks about raising them as her own. The kids seem happy with that. Bert is like, okay, whatever. And that's basically the end of the movie. Yeah, there's like 50 other kids that could do with help. But okay, let's just leave them behind.
Screw them.
Yeah, screw them.
I guess so. And that is the end of Children of the Corn. Whew. Is there a sequel? Funnily enough, there's about 6 sequels. Really? And a remake. Really? I watched the first 3 movies. Why did you do that? I don't know. I really don't know. But I probably might not watch anymore. I say might not because I might. They're quite amusing. Anyway, Children of the Corn, thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. I'll see you next time. Outlander! We has your gunning.